Good afternoon, everyone. It's Sunday. It's a long weekend. I hope everyone's doing well. Everton 1, West Ham United 0. Welcome, Frankie. How you doing, mate? You all right?
So angry, mate. I'm so
Yeah.
angry.
Yeah, I kind of peaked at Chelsea, mate. And so from that moment, it's not a surprise to me, mate. I watched the Silkeborg game. And again, if I didn't tell you who were West Ham, which team is worth 500 million, which is worth 50 quid, you would not been able to tell me. Same in the other Conference League, mate. And yeah, we're kind of nicely established in the bottom three now. We're quite familiar with that area, making good friends down there.
Mate,
Yeah,
it's our joint worst start to a Premier League campaign ever. Joint worst start to a Premier League campaign ever.
It's like,
let that sink in.
It's like, imagine we won a competition and it's like, Frankie, you will be able to coach and manage the team for one game.
Mate, we didn't win anything, did we?
And I couldn't tell you that there's a manager there with many years pedigree, a lot of experience. I saw the lineup, not surprised again. We're going to a bit more, but it was all over the place. And you mustn't get away from the fact that, yeah, Nottingham Forest at home, Villa, very fortunate. Everton are one of the. I know Everton fans are going to give me flack. Listen, first of all, well done. You're a good, decent club, but you will have to agree that what Lampard's doing at the moment, where you are, you're not kind of up there. You're not really up there in the league. You're kind of in the bottom half, but you've done a job over us, and we didn't really disturb you too much, mate. But before we go into the lineups and tactics and isolating and picking on players and the manager, what is your feeling with the final whistle going, mate? What's going through your mind?
Mate, before I want to go anywhere, there was things that came up during this game, right, that I was totally unaware of. And we kind of knew it because we don't have to look at stats to understand football, right? We're the sort of people who go over there, who enjoy football for what it is, a true working man's game, or what it was. It ain't anymore, but that's what it is. You ain't got to write down nothing in a notebook. You haven't got to go and look on expected goals per game. You haven't got to do any of that rubbish that modern day football wants you to do, right? And we knew that the wheels were falling off a long time ago. So we were all getting more and more angry, more and more irate, more and more frustrated, and more wound up with the situation that we was watching unfold. While everyone else was coming up with excuses of European football, of distractions, of tiredness, of poor squad depth, all that rubbish that everyone was making up to be an excuse, we didn't buy none of it. We was all getting frustrated, and everyone's finally catching up to us, right? And when you saw today what the commentators said, i.e. this is now our worst start or joint worst start to a Premier League campaign, with these people, right, will tell you that there's a project that Moyes is building, right? We're building for the future. He's building something special at West Ham. He's got to be given time. So far this season, we've got on average the oldest age starting lineup out of any other team in the Premier League. We're 19th for sprints, so we're not even running no more. We're not even trying. And we're 18th for possession. We don't even have the ball anymore. That is how bad we are. And that is reflected now on being in the relegation zone at the international break. And it is absolutely terrible. And the sooner we realise that this man, who I said to everybody, I come on these shows and everyone called me a mad and called it rubbish and give me stick for it, right? I said, David Moyes, the only reason he turned his fortunes around with West Ham is he put an unbelievable coaching staff around him who helped him to improve and supported him and basically just propped him up as a manager, mate. And they've all started to filter away. And I said at the end of last season, I said, don't underestimate how big a loss Stuart Pearce going was. And don't underestimate how big of a problem. Something went wrong massively at Christmas. We know that, right? We know it. Nobody would believe it. Nobody would buy it. Nobody would accept it. But something went wrong at Christmas. And all of a sudden, we stopped running, we stopped trying, and we stopped being committed for the team. And the togetherness that we had went completely out the window, right? Completely out the window. Nobody wanted to accept it, but we could all see it. And then the second the final whistle goes on the last game of the season, Stuart Pearce is out the door, gone. See you later, not having none of it. So tell me that that's normal. That ain't normal. Something went wrong, and he went, I'm not having this, because Stuart Pearce has got the balls to do it. He called the ball out when he left us last time, and at the end of the season, he went, right? And we knew this was coming before the season even started. And when we started to say it, people all went mad. They all call you crazy. They all give you loads of stick. They swear at you. They slag you off. Twitter's just disgusting, mate, because what they do to proper West Ham fans like us is embarrassing, mate. And at the end of the day, we go there through thick and thin, no matter what. And, mate, it's got to the stage where I don't want to bring myself to watch us anymore. The football's atrocious. Forget results. But this is how mad people are, mate, right? With all them stats we've just said, they'll tell you, oh, ain't we been unlucky? Weren't we unlucky at Forest? Oh, so unlucky. They forget that fluke goal that got us a point against Aston Villa. They forget all the good fortune we've had in Europe to get by these minnow teams that we should be rolling over and brushing aside.
Yeah.
They forget all of that. But we have been absolutely atrocious, mate. So bad. And there's no improvement on the horizon anywhere. And then you bring players on like Cornet today. And I'm not saying Cornet come on and look like a well beater, but my God, did he look like he had more energy than people like Fornals that were on that pitch today, mate. And how these players are not getting on the pitch, I just don't know. Something has to change, and has to change very, very fast, or we're in for a very, very bleak season, mate.
Yeah, definitely. First of all, Danny, welcome from the US. Take it away, Danny. Take it away, mate. What's on your heart, mate?
My heart is very sore right now, to be honest, watching this team. I agree fully with what Frankie just said. Stuart Pearce is probably the biggest loss from the summer, and we've not replaced him. So, in my opinion, Moyes has got 2 weeks, and in that 2-week period, all the players are going to be gone for international break, so he's not going to have players to work with. And I can't see him changing anything when we come back, to be honest. I feel like he's got his European lineup and he's got his Premiership lineup.
It's the wrong way around, isn't it, Danny? It's the wrong way around, mate. I mean, he should be playing players that are out of form in the conference, not the other way around. And
I mean, I've literally just I'm lucky to still have a 60-inch TV right now looking at me, because that guy I even said it during you guys off the record. I can't deal with him. I cannot watch him. I think every time he just slows the play down. There's no pace on the counter-attack. And with the players we have, we shouldn't even be playing for a counter-attacking team. We should hold the ball, have possession, spend how much money in the summer, and all the players are sitting on the fucking bench. All of them.
The thing what I'm thinking is, when we do our shows, we are completely speaking facts. We're not, and some fans are like, no, we finished 6th, we finished 7th. I said, I understand that, but listen, if Chelsea, Leicester can sack managers that won the league the next season, it's not that. It's a fact that David Moyes in football, 2-3 years of managers, they usually finished. I don't know why. I'm not going to go into the science of it or mentality. It's the end for him now. I'm sorry. It just happens. And he'll go to another club like Villa. He'll stabilize them before they get up. And then we're at the stage where I kept saying we need a more quality, better football, a player who can play with Paqueta. He can sort him out, what to do with him, Cornet, But David, for us, has done a great job. He stabilized us, and now it's thank you very much. The players they naturally get bored of the same voice, same instructions, especially Frankie. The backroom team, they look like even who's out there. No one of personality stands up next to the manager to point fingers, and they just sit there quietly. There's no one there. And when someone gets a sack, all the players say the same things, that we're bored of the same message. We're not motivated anymore. We'll run around, but we're running into what the stats are showing, what you're running into. And like Frankie and me were saying, it's just watching it, mate. Oh my God, it's like watching paint dry. It was just felt so sorry for the fans who made the effort to go there. For me, nothing personal. I'm not having a go. I'm not anti-West Ham. Nothing. I can see the wall on the writing. Listen, he could turn it around. I can't see it. It's just nature. It's come to an end for me.
The point is, at the end of the day, right, you can put it down to a new players, new system, and I know we don't play them, and I get all of that. I could have all those arguments, right? But when you are 19th for sprints in the Premier League out of 20, and you're basically just not running anymore, then you've got a real problem, because effort should be the minimum. And I actually think the last couple of seasons we were built on that effort, energy, fitness, commitment. I think that's what got us, through and gave us the good seasons that we had. That's gone. It's vanished. And now that's gone, we're looking totally bleak, mate. And the people on the bench look absolutely lost. They look clueless. They don't look like they know what to do. Moyes is trying to set up and tell players to just keep this constant shape because he's petrified, because he ain't got a clue how to play a system. And he's just, you just can't play like that, mate. It's got to the stage now where, like you said, I just don't see a way back. And all those people who said, right, Moyes was in control of the club in full. He was fully in charge of transfers. He was fully in charge of the players who come in and the players he wanted. Well, if he wanted all these players, why ain't he playing them? I always said I don't believe that he's in control of transfers. I always think Sullivan still pulls the strings. I've always thought that. If Moyes wanted all these players for millions and millions of pounds that he spent, why don't he play them then? All this bedding in rubbish. Isak comes into the Premier League, starts 2 games, scoring goals. It's all rubbish, mate. At the end of the day, the problem, actually, to be perfectly honest, is deeper than David Moyes, much deeper. And we've always known it. And throwing money at it ain't no help. And they've actually thrown money. They're hanging him out to dry, mate. They are absolutely hanging this geezer out to dry. And if anyone thinks they'll back him and carry on with this, they're mad, because their investment is too precious to them, mate. And whether any of us like it or whether you're Moyes in, Moyes out, it don't matter. I'm telling you now, they won't suffer this for too long, because this is proper relegation form we've got right now. And they won't want to see their investment at risk, mate. I'll tell you that now.
Before I move on to Danny, obviously, what I'm going through the chat, this is predominantly what people are saying. Are you saying that, Frankie, or not? Moyes out, or what are you feeling?
Like I said to you, mate, the problem I've got with Moyes out, what I struggle with, is I don't trust the ball to go and to get anyone any better. I absolutely believe that the people in this chat who have called it right, just like we have, and they've called certain things right, and we've called certain things right, and whatever, they called it early. They said that when that Warburton came in, he'll be the next manager. And I firmly believe if David Moyes goes, that's the caliber of guy you'll get. Don't think you're going to go and get a Poch or a Tuchel, or you're going to get any of these other managers. I've just seen the Leon manager suggested. Don't think you're getting any of them, because you're not. You'll end up with someone like a Warburton. That's what you'll have. So that ain't no upgrade on David Moyes. That ain't going to change nothing. So that change might bring a lift to get us out of trouble for relegation, might get us a 12th to 15th season in the Premier League. Well, whoop-de-doo, but that's what you'll end up with. So it's hard for me to be sitting here screaming Moyes out, because I don't think we'll end up with anyone any better. However, at the moment, mate, if we don't want to be in a relegation battle this season, the man's got to go, because we are absolutely diabolical. The stats suggest it. The form suggests it. We are in a lot of bother right now, and we can't continue in this way. So something's got to change.
Danny, are you Moyes out, mate?
Yeah, I'm Moyes out, mate. But I'm also who in. Same thing as Frankie, because there's nothing out there. Poch isn't going to come to a team that's fighting relegation. Tuchel's not going to do it. And I think, to be honest, I can see Kevin Nolan and Mark Warburton doing it together. And that's unfortunate. Sean Dyche may be coming in. What's he going to do? He's not going to change anything. But there's no one out there. There's no options. They've spent enough money to figure out now what needs to change. We can't afford to go down. This team will go under. This team will be a Sunderland. This team will be a Wigan. We will go further and further down. We've got way too much money into this club now. We're 8 games in, 7 games in? That's a third of the season almost now. I think now is a perfect time to change, but it's how do we change it? That's what they need to, over these next, I would say, few days, not even the next few weeks, assess it and see, get Moyes in there. What are you going to do to change this club? We can't afford to go down. We can't afford to lose this money. What are you going to do? Are you the right man to lead us forward? Can you change things? They've got to have that discussion. I don't think it'll last the season at all, but it needs to happen sooner rather than later, so that a manager has enough time to turn it around. Let's
be honest, mate. It was a disaster today from the second that lineup was announced. A disaster. You still have people who turn around and said it was the perfect 11, perfect starting 11. They said perfect starting 11, but you could all see where it was all going to unravel today as soon as that lineup was announced, mate. And it's from start to finish, it was a disaster today, from absolute start to finish.
You got Bowen, you got Fornals, Antonio, who really are out of form. Paqueta, you mentioned him, Frankie. What was his instructions from the coach? But no one passed the ball to him. I didn't even know he's playing.
Mate, I'll give him credit. Paqueta was chasing back.
Oh
he
yeah,
was doing the dirty work. I'll give him credit. I didn't think we signed him to do that. If I'm honest, I didn't realise we'd signed him to basically play as a holding midfielder who's going to run and chase back and help out the fullbacks and basically just track the other team's midfielders. I didn't realise that's what we'd signed him to do for us.
Oh, mate.
I tell you now, if that's what you think you're going to do with him, he'll soon get fed up with it and he soon won't want to be here no more. And if you want to sit Scamacca on the bench every Premier League game, he'll soon get fed up with that. And when you do play him, you want to leave him isolated up front on his own. Scamacca's proven through the bit parts he's played, the man knows where the goal is, right? And you can call it this poor opposition and everything else. It doesn't matter. You either know where the goal is or you don't, right? Scamacca knows where the goal is. And what we're desperately in need of right now is goals. And I was talking to someone throughout the game and they turned around to me and said, I just want to bring Dawson on because he's the only chance we've got of scoring a goal. We've become corner FC, mate. That's what we've become. The only way we score a goal is from a set piece or a corner. It's absolutely disgusting that we've spent all of this money and we still cannot score a goal from open play to save our life. It's really, really poor, mate. And, we keep spending fortunes on players and ruining them and getting nothing back for them. We're doing exactly the same with these two right now. And if you think they're going to tolerate this rubbish, mate, they won't because they're better than that. And they are better than that.
It's crazy. Danny, for you, Paqueta, used in a very bad way, wasn't he, mate? Hardly been given the ball.
Yeah.
And he's just, I don't know if David Moyes told him to just run up and down that wing, chasing, helping the left back out and do those kind of things, track back. Yeah.
He's gone from a team that pretty much dominated possession to a team that can't hold the ball. And he's playing a different position and he's not intended to. I think Moyes can sit there and say to him, I want you to sit behind Antonio and I want you to support the striker. But he can't fucking do that. If he's got to play out of position, he's got to track back. Otherwise, people are going to say he's not working hard enough.
Just comment, Cosmos. Hope you well, mate. Lingard's not even in the Forest team anymore. They've kicked him out. He's on the bench, mate.
It's a funny comment, though. I give him that. It is a funny comment.
Lingard is going down another way, mate. Moyes out, bye Moyes. But yeah, me and Frankie, here's an important question. Who's going to come in? We're never proactive. Have we tapped someone up? I don't think we've got that many brains.
Mate, let's have it right. That mob we played today are a terrible, terrible side. Real.
Yeah.
And we look worse. And they're a poor. Mate, everyone we've played this season, right, that everyone said we was unlucky against, Forest can't win a game to save their life, mate. How bad do Forest look? Every time I see Forest play, us getting beat by them looks worse and worse and worse. Arsenal go and roll Brentford today without even getting out of first gear. The teams that we're playing that people made excuses for the losses that we've had, mate, when are the excuses going to stop? And when are we just going to realise that we are a very, very poor side right now with a stubborn manager who refuses to change? Actually, do you know what? I'm not sure he is stubborn and refuses to change. I just don't know if he's actually knows anything else, mate. I don't think he's got anything else in him. He don't have no other way to play, does he? He ain't got a clue, the geezer. Got a clue.
He's stubborn. He doesn't want to play slightly attractive football if he can. Like you said, if any player joins West Ham bit of skill, he tells them, don't do it, you're going to lose it. Just
look
pass
at Benny when he come on. That shot he had. That's what you needed. You need someone to, and he was so unlucky, Benny, when he hit that shot. What's Benny done wrong to be sitting on the bench all the time and coming? He's looked our most positive player this season. Fornals is looking, and I know Fornals tries. Fornals ran today like he always does. But my God, is he a poor player, mate? Giving the ball away constantly, lightweight, just a really, really bad player, mate. And for me, this is the thing with me. I've always felt that of Fornals. I've never really rated him. I've always thought he's just an average player, a decent squad player, and that's as good as I'd ever give him. We've got problems, mate. Big problems. And,
Danny, you're shaking your head, mate. Fornals.
I'd give Fornals 20 minutes tops to close the game out. That's it. That's all I'd give him. He offers nothing else. He offers work rate, Can't find the pass, pulls out of tackles, just super soft. Gives the ball. I mean, he slows down every counter attack. He's in the position. Fair enough. Good for you. What are you going to do with it? It's just like, how must Flynn Downs feel? He's played one game this season, got man of the match, and he's not played another minute. Why is done to start? Why is Cornet on the bench? Why is Ben Rama our best player on the bench? Skamaka's banging in goals. Cornet and Skamaka are linking every game. Why are they sitting there watching fucking Antonio and not hold a ball up and 4-0 give the thing away? It's just...
It's not only that, it's Bowen. I mean, why you keep playing someone who's struck? Give him a couple. Look at Son. He took him out the team, and he came on, banged the second half hat-trick. Why do you keep playing these people? They're not being good since Christmas. Stop playing them week in, week out, and then
right, you made. I was looking like Bowen, like good for you, mate. But what have you done to deserve that? You've been piss poor this season.
I don't know what's happened to Bowen, mate. He's got that England curse again, isn't he? Where we said a player gets called up for England for us and never looks like the same player ever again. He's just, just really not good enough, mate. But at the end of the day, you know, we've said we was getting this squad and these new players to have competition for places and keep people on their toes and want people to, you know, be more on it and know that there's someone looking over their shoulder wanting to take their place. And it's just not happened.
It's a lot of things, like you said. It's people have come in, a lot of players have come in this window, but not being used. Out of form players playing all the time. It's the same formation, same way of playing. It's just in-game management. The Chelsea game was there to be won, and with 1 or 2 subs, we didn't do it the right way. And then when you do play well, like Ben Rama, Cornet, Skamaka, mentally you're not going to start the next game. But if these favourites who you regularly. His regular favourites are not helping him since Christmas. We're always losing, and then he brings Cornet Skamaka on. I mean, mentally, will you really want to do it, knowing that if you do score, get a draw, next game, you're not going to start again? You play for your own.
I think they tried when they come on, mate.
Oh,
I think Cornet really gave it a lot of effort. I thought he was really trying his art out, and he had that little chance at the end, and it just sort of ran away from him. But, you know, you can't keep asking him to do that and come on and get you out of trouble. That's not what it's all about, mate.
Because what is, Danny, we signed these players on the back of really good seasons. That's why we signed them. And they're coming into a team that are bang out of form, and then you don't play the ones who are in form. I don't get that. Bowen and Antonio should be slapped on the backside, says, you are guys, first 10 games, you're going to be on the bench, right? And then obviously they'll think, shit, man, we better start waking up like someone's taking our space. I don't understand this way of managing, Danny. It's weird, isn't it? I don't get it.
Yeah, Antonio would be a good, useful sub. He would be a very useful sub, but starting every week, going from a right midfielder to a right back to a left back to a centre mid to a forward, you've changed the man. He can't hold the ball up. He just can't. He can't finish. It's Skamaka. He come on today. His first 2 touches opens the game up. Superb. First touch into, I don't know who it was in the middle of the field. Literally his first touch, and I'm thinking, Carl, what a fucking difference this guy makes already. Literally.
Yeah.
I mean, he's technically so much better than
in every way, mate. That goal against Viborg, if you watch the goal against Viborg that he scored, where he sort of runs to the front post and he flicks it over into the back post, right? He goes forward, realises the cross ain't coming, he drops back, he goes forward again and beats the man. That's centre-forward play. Mikel Antonio hasn't got a clue how to do something like that. Not a clue. He is not a centre-forward. I'll tell you what, on the build-up to the game today, I watched the Everton 3-2 game when we had Paqueta, when we was 2-0 down. They had a penalty, could have made it 3, missed it, and we come back and won 3-2. Antonio was playing right wing-back. He couldn't play there either. He was absolutely useless.
We are bottom 3, gentlemen. 3 goals in 7 games. So that's joint with Wolves. Dave got Diego Costa. Anyone want Diego Costa?
Mate, anything right now would do, but he wouldn't play him even if we did have him.
You know what?
Yeah.
Genuine question. Talking about Moyes out, would any of you, honestly, like, genuine question, would any of you take Brendan Rodgers if he had a better...
No.
No?
No,
not with what he's done in his past.
Nah, absolutely no way. Absolutely. He's another one. He's another one of them clueless, absolutely no idea managers who just, he's another one. But what we need is someone who's young, progressive, forward thinking. We need someone who's got, or someone who's, been there, proven, seen it and done it. But we don't get either, because anyone with ambition doesn't want to come to us, because we don't have ambition ourselves as a football club. And I was watching, to tell you what I was watching the other day as well, there was a really good interview with Joe Cole interviewing Mark Noble on BT Sports YouTube channel, right? And Mark Noble goes on to tell you that we are what we are, but we haven't got anywhere near the facilities that Leicester have got, that these other teams have got. And he goes in and breaks it down and basically says, we've got real heart as a football club. We've got amazing fans, but everything else is trash. That's basically what he says. And no manager wants to come in and work out of a porta cabin and crappy training facilities. That don't attract a top manager. No top manager wants to be West Ham. And I've seen in the chat again, people suggesting we'll go and get a top manager. We won't, because we don't show ambition. We haven't got the facilities that they want to work in. We are a two-bob outfit, mate. That's what we are.
I'll give you an example. I never thought the day that Tottenham would get Conte and Mourinho. But going back to Frankie's point, they've been to the training ground, which we've seen on that Amazon Netflix.
Yeah.
I ain't been to the ground, but maybe Frankie has. You can say what you want. It's up there, isn't it? It's really, really good. And that's where you get them in. They know how to run the club. Richard, we're not personally want David Moyes. We've got nothing against him, mate. We're just factually saying that based on the results and where we think the momentum is, we need a bit of a change, mate. So I don't know if you mean that, but no, we're not going to have a party tomorrow if Moyes gets a sack. We're not like that. No, we're not saying
mate,
that.
No one. I heard a comment today. It's the first comment like this I heard this time round, right? But you do get it. You get that comment where they go, "Do we really want to win today? Because it would keep Moyes' job when we really want him gone." I always want West Ham to win. I don't care whether Moyes stays in job or not. All I want is West Ham to win. At half-time, I wanted West Ham to win. I don't sit here smug going, "Oh, I told you I was right about David Moyes." I hope David Moyes proves me wrong and goes and wins a trophy this year, and we can all celebrate together and enjoy it as West Ham fans. I hope David Moyes proper mugs me off and proves me wrong. But I do not believe David Moyes is the man to carry us forward. And that's just my opinion, mate. And that's it.
It is. I mean, let me have a look at the next fixtures. I think is it Wolves coming up and Newcastle and people like that. Let's have a look.
We would rather have a party celebrating West Ham win something than a party celebrating Moyes out.
100%, mate. 100%.
The fixtures, the fixtures are telling me, mate, we've got a bit of a break. We're home to Wolves, Anderlecht we know about, so home to Fulham. I actually went to buy something from Gumtree this morning, and where I went, I didn't realize I picked it up. Beautiful area, top of the road. I was near Fulham Football Club, right in front of me. So it was a free 4-bedroom house, terraced, really, really good condition, amazing road. And I told my daughter, I said, punch in the postcode. How much is it? And it's 2.3 million. It's a 4-bedroom. Go up and it's right. And Fulham Football Club's top of the road. And I'm like, nice. Great ground. But yeah, we got Southampton, Liverpool, Bournemouth, Wolves, Fulham. I think if you're going to make a change, Danny, I think this is a good time, especially at the World Cup. We're going to have a whole month to work with the players, isn't you? I don't know.
If he's going to do it, he's got to do it now. To be honest, that row of fixtures besides Liverpool, West Ham should be winning games. Wolves ain't doing nothing this season. Bournemouth are shocking, and still somehow got more points than us. It's time for a change. It really is.
Yeah. And Tommy's made a good point there, Jazz. It's getting to the point where, regardless of what you think as a fan or anything else, the board's hands are going to be tired, mate. You cannot carry on with this form. You cannot carry on being in the relegation zone. At the end of the day, regardless of whether you think he's been a great manager and, you know, he gave us some fantastic seasons and whatever else, he's making his own bed at the moment, mate. And his own bed is that he's putting us bang in trouble. And can anybody see this turning around? We've got a real good run of games in front of us. That might be his saviour. But almost, David Moyes, if you remember when he first sort of come in to both times, actually, to save us from relegation, he always has that little bit of rub of the green. We don't play well, but when he needed a result, he'd get one. that seems to have vanished, mate. That whole thing is gone. And today, that Benrahma shot goes in for him last season.
Yeah.
This season, it comes back off the post, mate. I'm telling you, I think his luck's run out, and I think the writing's on the wall for him. I do, because I just don't think the board will tolerate the amount of spending that he's had with this type of form and no sign of improvement. They must be sitting there, the board, going, we gave you these players for hundreds of millions and you don't play them. What's the matter with you? We can't win a game, and all that investment we put in just sits on the bench. They can't be happy, mate.
I mean, you had Emerson. I mean, he was back to the bench. Cressy played. I didn't see much from Cressy, did I? I didn't see much from him. A couple of the corners, what I saw, were really poor again, weren't they? Set pieces, corners.
Oh, they were fucking terrible.
Well, Fornals couldn't beat the first man every time he took a corner.
I don't know why Fornals it was even the first corner. I think it was, wasn't it? He couldn't beat the first man.
Yeah,
and then Benrahma hitting the side netting, 1-0 down. It was just, I mean, it summed us up, really, didn't it?
I don't even know where to start. Everything, there's nothing right. I can't even say that there's one player who's pulling the team together. There isn't anyone anymore. Rice has just had enough, and they're all. I don't know if they're coasting through games, or I don't know what to. I don't know, unless they're good at acting. I don't know. I don't know.
Rice, if we keep this form up, his value decrease big time. And not his fault. He's not exactly performing his best, but he's got 10 players around him that aren't doing shit to help him.
Anyone know how long Moyes' contract is? He got a year left or two? I don't know.
Well, however long it is, son, it's too long.
But I don't. Are we going to sack him? Are we that type of club to move that quick? I don't. Well, it's not quick.
I think you might see a difference, because that transfer window suggested someone else is pulling the strings a little bit now. And if they've just spent that sort of money and it's at risk, they'll be telling and making instructions to say something's got to give. And I don't think we'll tolerate it too long, mate. I tell you that now. I would give Moyes 2 more games. I think people have all said give him till Christmas. I don't think they'll wait till Christmas, because if you're at the bottom of Christmas, I think he's got a couple more games, mate, and I think that'll be if he goes and gets beat by Fulham, I think that's him gone. I really do.
I would get rid of him now, but that's me. I'll get rid of him now and then bring someone in. But then the thing is, to bring someone in, you usually have to entice them in with some kind of winter window purse, don't you? Which I don't know if the board have got any much more left. I don't know. That's the thing for them, isn't it? If they get a good, half-decent manager, he's going to say, okay, it's half-decent squad. I can do something with it, but I would need a little bit more and bring my own team. I don't know what they would cost. Small payoff for them.
Well, he's got the 2 games there, isn't he, mate, right? He's got Wolves at home. He's got Anderlecht in between, but then he's got Fulham at home, right? There his 2 games, isn't he? That's his 2 games. You couldn't ask for 2 better fixtures to turn your fortune around, could you? If you could pick any teams you wanted at home to want to play, there are 2 teams that you'd pick. So, mate, he's got everything that he could want now to turn it around in the next couple of games. And if he doesn't get a win out of either of those games, then I think that will be see you later.
Yeah. I think it's being giving him 2 more games. But if we're going to do it, like you said, those are 2 games that a point isn't good enough against them 2.
I think, like Frankie said, there's 3 home games in the next 4. And I just know if Moyes stays, draw at best in either of them. I can't see us winning any of them. Anderlecht, we probably win one of them and draw the other maybe. And then we're on to Southampton away. But what makes it worse, I don't know about you two, is when our North London neighbours are doing so well, that kind of makes it a bit worse to handle. Chelsea, they'll pick up sooner or later, so it's not very good. But it's like all that excitement in the window, everyone, it's just gone out. I saw 180 million. I couldn't even tell you today, did we really spend 180 million? Where is it? And I can't see any evidence of. And Frankie said, if you were the board, oh my God, you want to see a little bit improvement, wouldn't you? With that much money,
you would, mate. You certainly wouldn't expect to be in the relegation zone going into the international break. You wouldn't expect that at all, would you? You wouldn't. You know, even if it was like 14th, 15th, you'd be sitting there going, "Come on!" But mate, we're in the relegation zone. It's bad, mate. Really bad.
there's not even much to talk about in terms of near misses, chances, defense splitting moves. There's nothing to talk. It was such a dire game. They scored. Great shot by Mope. Gentlemen, only cost 14 million. I know he doesn't score enough, but he's always injury free, very strong, holds the ball up, and he's a striker's finish, Frankie. Bang, straight in, you know.
But you know, at the end of the day, Kera, we know he's not the type of player who likes to play in a back four. You know, he showed the geezer the near post. Don't show him the near post, mate. He literally said to him, "There you go, have a pop," and he scored. You've got to shut that man down. You've got to block the shot. You can't go to him. There you go, have a free shot at goal, mate. You just can't do that. So, mate, Kera, for all his positive play on the floor, aside from that, he's been a bit of a mare. Let's be honest. You know, he scored an own goal. He's been a bit suspect here and there. He can't win a header. He actually isn't all we make him out to be. But if you play him in a back five with a free and get him playing the ball out from the back, he's calm on the ball, collected. He sprays it out nicely. Fantastic at doing that. But do we really want to play with a back five? Not really.
But we should be big enough, like he said, to keep him on the bench for those games. Playing five, he's there, or he can really cover perhaps full back. I don't know, but centre back, one or two. No, it's too tight, and yeah, it's too costly if he goes missing and doesn't pick up the markers and things like that. Have you thought about Emerson's start to his career? Like,
same sort of thing, mate. He's an average sort of left back, wing back. He's more progressive than Cresswell. He does try and go forward a bit more. He's got a bit more energy, so he can actually get up and down the pitch better. So that's a positive. Again, I prefer him as a wing back more than I prefer him as a sort of full back. But Moyes tried to go to a back four today. He tried to readjust the shape. He tried to be a little bit different, and we still didn't see any improvement, mate. He did try and. I'm not saying he totally changed what he was going to do, but he did try and push a couple more players forward today, I feel, and it didn't help us one little bit, did it? It was the only player really getting forward was Fornals, but looked poor when he was getting forward. Paqueta looked totally isolated and just on the back foot all the time, constantly having to be defensive, couldn't be that new sort of style of passing, get the ball moving forward player that we thought he was going to be. I thought he was going to be the number 10, you know, in behind the striker, linking up, always in their box, on the edge, picking up the ball from deep, getting it into Antonio's feet, feeding off of him. I thought we was going to see like and we haven't. We've seen him as like a holding box-to-box midfielder. And I just confused by it all, mate, to be perfectly honest.
I thought the instruction should be, as soon as anyone on our team wins the ball, you give it to him. Just give it to him.
Yeah, and that's similar to how Payet was with us. It was similar to that sort of scenario, and we haven't seen that. What I have got to say today, though, mate, because I've defended him through thick and thin, because I felt like he deserved it, but he definitely doesn't deserve it today, and that's Mr. Thomas Souček, mate. He was absolutely abysmal today. Couldn't pass the ball, constantly getting drifted past, awful in the tackle, just looked like a really, really bad player today. Just really not good enough. But then nobody was good enough today. But I do think Souček looked very, very out of sorts. And again, mate, we see people, and we've seen it time and time again. People show something. They show that they want to be in the first team. They show that they try and earn a position in the first team, like Downs did against Bucharest. And we don't see him again for the next two games. Why?
Before going to Danny, very interesting what Potter did at Chelsea, which I would do. Complete makes sense. You sit down with every player and you ask them how you feeling. If it was your choice, how would you want to play? What you think you're good at? Take all those notes away and then think of a formation to make. What Moyes, I think, does, it's my system of fucking nothing. It's up to you to fit into my system. I don't care how you played. If you came from a really good system playing the way you were, it's like, why would you buy a certain player, but then you don't play him like that in your own team? And then what's going on? I'm not sure about that. We'll quickly go through the comments. Danny, any other thing you want to get off your chest before we go through the comments, mate, and see what's bubbling in there, mate?
No, I've got a lot of things, mate, to be honest. I've got a lot, but I'm just biting my tongue.
Oh, go ahead.
I think Emerson coming on in 92nd minute when we have a corner is a pointless sub. Bring Dawson on. Where literally it's all or nothing. What are you doing bringing Emerson on in 90 seconds?
I think he's lost it, mate. I told you, it's nothing personal, David. It's mentality's gone, mate, isn't it? David's gone mad. He's lost it.
I'm lost with him, mate. I gave him all last season. We finished 7th. We didn't play the best football, but we got there. We got the results. That's what it's about. Now we're not getting the results. We've been sussed out. He's just not doing anything to change it. He's really not. It's just getting old. It's getting boring. You know, years ago, I used to love watching Barcelona play. And then more recent times, I love watching Man City play. And now I watch them and I'm like, fucking hell, they're doing the same shit. It's getting boring. Well, I've been watching West Ham for 3 years do the same shit, and we've got results, and now we're not. And it's becoming super boring.
I looked at the results before I did that Poch program. April, that Lyon 3-0 win, Frankie, Danny. That was the last time I think we got off our sofas and really, really like, God, that was something. April, mate. And before that, a long while before that, Sean Dyche, any of you want him? Any of you?
No, definitely not. But
right,
again, it's a great comment again, mate. It's a funny comment. He's getting like that, isn't it? He's getting like that.
Paul's talking to Frankie.
Yeah, but that's right, mate. And he's and it is spot on. You know, the results, we used to not play pretty football, but we used to get results. And when you don't play pretty football, you get results, you tolerate it. I've said that with Moyes football all the way through. When you win, it's fine. When you lose, it looks terrible. It looks so bad. If he played the way he did today and he grinds out a 1-0 win, everyone goes, oh, he stopped the rot. You know, it was a 1-0 win we desperately needed away from home, and everyone would say that was fine. It goes the other way. It looks really bad because you don't fret, you don't play anything with attacking intent, you don't excite, you don't play any sort of passing football. It's just awful way of playing football, mate. And someone had it right the other day. They said the Moyes style football, it has such a slim margin of error. When it goes for you and you nick a goal and you get a 1-0 win, it does look okay. When you come unstuck and they get the goal, it looks really, really bad, mate. It's I've not enjoyed watching West Ham play football. I enjoyed the results. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy the results. I enjoyed not losing as much, not being in a relegation zone, not looking over our shoulders, and I enjoyed the European adventure we had. But if you take all of that out and you say just the football alone, stand alone, the football, have you enjoyed the football over the last 2 years that Moyes has played? Other than the Seville game and even the Lyon game, mate, we were terrible for the first 25 minutes. But I've never enjoyed Moyes' football. I don't go over and sit there at the London Stadium entertained. It is boring football. It just is. And now the results have gone, mate. We've got to change something fast.
I know it's easy saying it now, but I'm not going to act like a smart ass. But Frankie, if the board were really, really clever, I think deep down the writing was on the wall before the transfer window started. You know, when the Brighton game finished, and maybe that 180 million should have been given to a new manager and sacked him then.
Maybe,
you know,
but still, I still don't believe the money was given to Moyes. I don't believe that for a second. If Moyes wanted Scamacca, he would be playing him. If Moyes wanted Cornet, he would be playing him. This is the stubbornness of Moyes again, getting given players that he didn't really want, mate. And he trusts in his old faithfuls. He trusts in the people that he knows and that he wants around him. That's it. It's I still don't buy this. Moyes has been in control. I know he's come out and said things in press conferences that makes it sound as if he's
having a go at them. He's had a go at Downs. He's had a go at Scamacca. Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing, mate?
But I mean, what he did, he come out and said, "Oh, the board have given us everything they want. They've tried so hard to get me the players in." He said all of that, but I still don't really believe it, mate. Moyes looks at the moment petrified with the players he's got around him. He looks so scared to play anything other than, you know, two rows of just stay in your shape. Don't ever move out of your shape. Don't press. Don't do nothing. Just stay there and hope that we nick a goal on the counter. That's what he's hoping for, and that suggests that he doesn't believe in the players he's got around him. So. Yeah, I don't know what's gone on here, mate, but I didn't really believe it. The Warburton coming thing in was weird. It was a really weird acquisition. I don't believe that was Moyes' pick. I don't think he went, Warburton, someone I've known from the past, and that's the man I want alongside me. I don't think that.
I don't even know what he looks like. Is he in the bench every game? Is he in the back room? Is he there?
No, he's further back than that. But even like Nolan now, mate, being there, what's Nolan really know? You've lost the man who's been around football for a very long time and was able to G people up, and that was Stuart Pearce. Not only that, but you've lost Mark Noble's influence in and around the club as well, which is massive. Again, watch that 3-2 when we beat Everton 3-2 at Goodison Park a few years back, the Payet game. Mate, Noble was just in the referee's face. There was a bad challenge that went in when the player got sent off. It was, I can't remember his name now, but he put in a bad challenge on Cresswell, got a second yellow card, got sent off. Noble was over there just managing a game. Do you know what I mean? He was in the referee's ear. He was screaming, he was shouting, he was G'ing the team up, he was pulling the team together. I'm afraid Declan Rice ain't quite there yet. He's still a young lad. You know, he hasn't matured enough into that type of position yet. And if I'm honest, I think it does play down to, you know, how much does he see himself being here in the future? Noble knew he was West Ham forever. Do you know what I mean? He was committed to the cause. How much is Rice committed to the cause at the moment? I'm not sure, because I'm not seeing someone who's grabbing it by the scruff of the neck at the moment. I'm not seeing someone who's really... There was one moment he had in the second half, I don't know if you remember it, but he picked up the ball and tried to drive forward, and he was down the left-hand side, and he really tried to... But that's not enough, mate. That's not enough. We need more than that. We're really lacking all round in mentality, in commitment. Like we've said already on this stream today, you know, 18th for... sprints is terrible, mate. That's so bad. We don't even run no more. The whole desire that we had for the last couple of seasons is gone. And where does that come from? Is that because Stuart Pearce ain't screaming at them and demanding things anymore? Is it because your captain's changed and you haven't got Noble round you who knows what it takes and knows what it means to be West Ham? I don't know what's gone on, but the players are not running. They're not committed to the cause like they were in the past couple of seasons. And how do you get that back? I'm not sure we do, unless, like you say, you have someone come in who can inspire these group of players again and get them firing. But it's very worrying, mate, because, like I say, Paqueta and all of this, they're big players. They won't tolerate this rubbish, mate. I'll tell you now, because they're better than them.
Yeah.
When you used to have the same old tat round that West Ham used to always have, it didn't matter too much because But these are world-class players we've supposedly got in the team now. They're not going to suffer this, mate. They're not going to suffer performances like today. They're going to sit around here and go, I didn't sign up for this. That's how they're going to feel. And yeah, it's not good enough.
Danny, take over, mate.
You said something a minute ago, Jazz, about Moyes has slagged off Downs and Scamacca. Danny's post today and he slagged off the entire team, so let down by everyone today. What about when he left?
What after the Everton game?
Yeah, he said that he was let down by the players today. Someone actually just said it well in the chat, I think, if you scroll down.
Oh, okay. That's good to chat. Stuart Pearce, family reasons. The funny thing, Dill, is he kept coming back the odd day here and there, so I don't know what's going on with him, mate. Yeah. Nothing, mate. Absolute crap.
So it comes down to...
Yeah, I think there's...
It's not the board. It's a summary of everyone involved in the club, to be honest.
Yeah, just let me have a look. I'm a bit behind on the chat. Let me catch up with it.
See, but that's a good comment we just saw there. It sort of got skipped over a little bit, but they said we had double their shots at we had double their shots and double their shots on target, and he's right, we did. But did you ever feel like we was going to score a goal? Because I never did. I knew we was never going to score. And other than Ben Rama's chance that he had, for me, we never looked like scoring.
Yeah,
didn't block it. The one that was pulled back by Cornet, I think. Bowen had that shot blocked going in the corner. Pickford was, not Pickford, Beck beat there, but besides that, no. And you know what I've noticed as well, and you guys as football fans, I'm sure have noticed it. Moyes will settle for a point every away game, and he'll wait until he scores, and then within 2 minutes, we've had a shot. Yeah. 2 minutes. Why wait? If you know you can do it within 2 minutes of a team scoring, why not do it before the other team score and we score the first goal for once? Waits. He sits back and he says, okay, a point away is good. Could be a way to Scunthorpe United in the cup. He'll take a. It's just how he does it.
Yeah.
Time to go do something now.
I
Then
think this.
20
Yeah.
first, then I'll bring it on in the 93rd fucking minute.
This comment and add Cressy in there. They'd always be starting, mate. Always starting the same bloody people. It doesn't make any difference. Declan, yeah, I'd get another captain in who's a bit 28, 29, been around, won a few things, stick him in there.
That's true. It's true. It's tough having a child, mate. It's double hard. It's no sleep. It drains the life out of you. Everyone who thinks you can take it in your stride, it's tough. And he looks like a man who's got the weight of the world on his shoulders at the moment. He really does. It's not easy for him. But then, that's the problem when you've got a club that's got such a lack of leadership at the moment. What do you do? It's just, yeah.
Hey. What about this comment? I thought it was a really good shot in the corner. Maybe his positioning was wrong in the beginning.
It was a good shot.
Yeah.
It was more Kerr that should have closed the ball down. Kerr literally jockeys him as if to say, you're not going to shoot this way, but leaves the near post wide open. And there was nothing Fab could have done there. But again, we still keep thinking that we're going to see Areola starting as the number one goalkeeper, the man that we're giving the highest wage to out of our squad. And he sits on the bench. Doesn't make any sense.
It is, mate. So everyone kind of it'd be interesting to see what the other channels are up to because they usually sit on the fence. But I think the fence is broken now, Frankie, isn't it? How many people can sit on there?
Mate, it would definitely break if I sat on it, that's for sure.
Mate. But that's the thing on match days. I enjoy hanging out with you guys. I get more fun out of that than. And then half time, I'm usually I'm going downstairs and doing something else. I'm like, oh my God.
It's getting like that, mate. It's getting like that. I don't want to be that fan. I don't want to be the fan that goes down for a beer at half time and sits there having a beer with my mates and having a chat and a laugh and whatever else because, I want to support the team. But it's getting to the stage where it is so boring, mate, that it's tough. It's a tough watch, a really tough watch all round. And I knew it was going to be tough today. I didn't think it was going to be that bad, mate. I really didn't think it was going to be that bad.
I knew they can't score, so everyone said it's going to be 1-0 to someone, isn't it? Everyone, not going to be much in it. They're both pretty mediocre finishing-wise. You're lucky Calvin Lewin is just constantly injured now. That boy would have punched in 1 or 2. Anyone want the Brentford manager?
I don't know a lot about him, mate, but they play good football. But then I watched the game today because my mate's an Arsenal fan, and I sat there and watched the whole 90 minutes, and, mate, Brentford got brushed aside. Just like we did. So I'm not sure.
Danny, you want the Brentford manager, mate?
I'd rather have Marco Silva. Thomas Frank's not bad, but he's done a good job with Brentford, though, really, thinking about it. It really is. Shocking. So, but every team has their off. We just have it 37 games out of 38. So there's I don't know.
Was it FA Cup second round weekend, Frankie?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Any of your local teams in there? I think
Ebbsfleet, which is the localist to me, they beat the big derby against Dover. They won 2-0 and have gone through. So, yeah, the other one who I used to live in Welling, I'm South East London, so I should be Millwall land is where I used to be from. But they drew 0-0. So, yeah, I like keeping an eye on that sort of level of football, It's, mate, I've got to be honest, more and more tempted to go and watch a bit more of it rather than going and watch that shower of crap at the moment.
You probably get a better burger, mate. Probably if they do.
About right.
Yeah, probably. But, I think Slough Town and Maidenhead are big. They're usually there or thereabouts. But, yeah, Joshua, I hope you're well, mate. PSG manager. Don't know much about him. I don't know. I'll have to look into it. Christopher Galtier.
No, I don't know enough either.
Tony, he's in the England squad, Tony, isn't he? Brentford.
Been playing well, hasn't he?
Won't bring him Tony. He'll sit on the bench.
That's right.
Warburton, mates. All right, I know, Alex. I know. Alex has been getting pelters online, Frankie. Don't worry about him, mate. It'll be all right. Don't worry. Rob Newman is a scout to look for the new manager. I don't know if that's under his remit. Is it? I don't know. Oh, mate. Pochettino. Moyes won't change a thing. It's Mr. Mace. Enough is enough.
We need a bit of Mr. Mace humour to try and sort everything out.
Yep, dog mess for Mr. Mace. There we go.
The tide has turned, I think, Jazz, for the first time, mate.
No, I think our channel viewers, funny enough, they're always like us. It's some of the others.
No, I was going to mention there was a poll that was put out straight after the game, and it's been, this person keeps putting the poll out. This account, it's a large account. It's had over 260 votes, but it's always.
Oh, been... is it my old friend Thomas Coles? Is it him?
No, it's not him, mate. It's not him. But it's always been more Moyes in than Moyes out, and for the first time, it's now swung. There are more Moyes out than Moyes in.
Oh, it wasn't before this game. It was 75-25. Hammers Coles did one.
It swung, mate.
I did one and nearly got hanged for it. And I said I didn't say anything. I just said, like, if you want him or him. And they're like, wow. But yeah, it's quite funny like that, mate. Just answer the question. Yeah.
If any of you is saying Moyes in, what would your reasoning be behind it? Why would you be Moyes?
There'll be things like, you don't know what you're wishing for. It could be worse on the other side. I'm like, we're on the dark side anyway. And they're just not brave enough in life. I'm like, listen, it could go wrong, but I'd rather you be hands-on, proactive, and go for it. And then,
mate, for me, the only people that can be Moyes in now after today can be people who don't go and watch the football, don't have to sit and suffer it, don't have to watch it live, don't have to pay thousands of pounds a year to have to sit and just go through it every week in, week out, travel up and down the country watching it, flying abroad to watch it. They're the only people who can be Moyes in at the moment, because other than that, it's just really not good enough, and it's not been good enough for a long while. There was a comment earlier that said, you was kind of used like with Moyes out after game week 2. No, we was Moyes out, not Moyes.
No, we were.
We had serious sort of frustrations and concerns when we lost to Southampton on Boxing Day 3-2. Then when we lost to Leeds at home a few weeks later. That for me was where I started to think, this ain't not quite right here. It's not been the same since, mate. It's not been the same since.
It's been bad. I mean, the Forest not getting a point of Forest away. Whoa, that was like, they're really bad. So I
wonder who the manager was for our other. This is equaled our worst start to a Premier League season ever. I wonder who the other one was. It would be interesting to know.
It might be John Lylate. We went down. Oh, we were bad that year.
Yeah,
bad. That season.
It can't be him to go out Premier League.
If Everton charged at the beginning of the season, it would have been him.
Danny, tell me about your tattoos on your hand. What type of tattoos are those, mate?
Oh, that's the English rose.
Mm.
I just got it. And then this is the time that my son was born and the date he was born. And then my arm is like this arm. I've got Big Ben over here. I've got the Queen's Guard back here.
Oh, right. Wow.
Telephone box. I got London Bridge and the cab up here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you got addicted, mate. Oh right, loads. Any West Ham ones? Any West Ham Hammers or anything like that?
Oh wow.
Oh, there we are.
Mate, look at this one as well. It just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it? West Ham have lost 8 of the last 10 Premier League away games, while no side has lost more matches on the road in the Premier League in 2022 than the Hammers. There we go, mate. That's how bad we are. I don't think people quite understand it because of last season still in their head. They don't realise just how bad it is right now. No side has lost more games on the road than West Ham in 2022. No side.
And the other thing is, if you ever were, as West Ham, were ever going to get in the Champions League in the last 2 seasons when most of the good teams are having an average, you missed the boat.
Yeah.
You missed the boat by stubbornly. Yeah, like we said, we finished 2 points behind Chelsea 2 years ago. Man, I don't know how Man United beat us by a point, but sooner or later, all these top teams, United, Chelsea, they're going to get into gear. You're never going to get a chance again. But it is what it is, mate.
It would seem, Jazz, that it was the Pellegrini season in 18-19. So we all know what happened to Mr. Manuel Pellegrini after that start to a season. So, yeah, maybe the writing is on the wall.
That is a good point, isn't it? It's a good point.
It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. So I keep myself.
That's another thing. What is Fornell's position in football? I'm not sure. I don't know. What is Fornell's position? Is he CDM, little CDM? I don't know.
I can't work it out. He's sort of, a lot of people say he plays on the left wing. Some people say he plays down the middle. Some people say he plays as a 10. Nobody really knows, mate. And I don't think he knows either, to be perfectly honest. So
I don't know. Well, Danny, what is he? I don't know. Is he left back? I don't know, mate.
When you think of a winger, you think of fast. You think of dribblers. You think of someone that can take someone on. You think of someone that can create something. I don't think fucking anyone else. I mean, if he's going to play that formation, I would have loved to see even Emerson start ahead of Fornals today. He's good going forward. He's known to be a defender. He's not the best as a defender. And if we are going to go back to a 5, I would almost, and it might get stick for it, but I'd almost like to see Cresswell dropped and Dawson start with Kera and Zuma.
yeah.
And Emerson, the left wing back. And Ashby, if he ever gets a chance as a right, because I don't think Kufal can do it anymore either.
No.
I mean, look at Damari Gray, isn't it, Frankie, on the other side?
Yeah, look lively, pacey. Mate, here we go as well. Another one here just to reiterate where we are at the moment and why we've been saying that, you know, the writing could be on the wall. Last 14 Premier League games, Brentford away, loss. Burnley at home, draw. Chelsea away, loss. Arsenal at home, loss. Norwich away, already relegated, win. Man City draw. Brighton loss. Man City loss. Nottingham Forest loss. Brighton loss. Aston Villa, we got 1-0 from a lucky goal. Spurs draw. Chelsea loss. Everton loss. That's 2 wins in 14 games, mate. 2 wins in 14 games. It's absolutely atrocious. Like, we are...
That's a whole season.
In trouble. Yeah. That is relegation form, mate. Relegation form.
How much longer are you going to give him to fucking manage?
No, he's got to go for me, mate. Mandy, hope you're doing well. I would have played Antonio. I would put Bowen on the bench for now. Antonio in his place. Benrahma, Paqueta in the middle, and Cornet on the left. And Skamaka up front, and then see how we do. That's what I would do. Yeah.
Jazz, I'm going to get off, mate. I'm going to go.
Yeah, take care.
But I'd love to be back on either tomorrow or the next day once we've had time to settle down and once we hear what's going on with Moyes and this board meeting, mate. So when you call another one, let's review where we are and I'll let you two sort of summarise and sum it all up, mate. And,
yeah, we'll do. Take care. Appreciate that, mate. Have a good day.
Catch you later on, chaps.
Yeah, see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I've got about 4 minutes till I got to go look at a house. Me and the kids just got a new house that we're moving into.
Nice. Nice. Good.
Stuff.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's hard to watch, isn't it, Jazz? It's hard to watch this team every week now. It's getting to that stage where it's just like, you know what's going to happen. You don't even look at the lineups anymore because you know who's going to be in them. You expect the same when the starting whistle goes and the full-time whistle goes.
It's boring. It's boring, though, isn't it?
Boring.
I think I've got one more old colleague waiting to come in. He hasn't been in a while, so yeah, carry on summing up then, Danny, and then I'm coming in a minute. I've just got to send someone that link.
That's pretty much it, mate. It's just the same old. I've not seen many wrong posts in the chat. I've not seen many wrong comments. I think we as fans can all see it. The board can obviously see it. And it's time to do something about it. But the ultimate question that we've gone over multiple times is who's out there that can replace him? And I just don't know that there's an option right now. And I don't know that the board will pull the trigger because Moyes is their man, kind of thing. And you said something earlier about a manager would want to come in and know he has a winter budget. They don't have the money anymore. They're going to fucking go broke if we go down. They're going to have to pull money out their ass if someone else is to come in. So,
what I would do is simply in the window, what I would have done is, Skamaka's my number one, and then I buy a cheaper version in case he doesn't play. I'll tell Antonio Bowen, you're never going to play up front again whilst I'm manager, and they'll be like, oh, thank you, boss. And I tell both of you, you're fighting for that right wing place. You know, put people in the right positions. And then I tell Benrahma Paqueta, you're fighting for that number 10 role. And then left side, I tell Cornet Fornells, you're fighting for that role on the left. It's not rocket science, is it, Danny? It's not rocket science, mate. And he's just keeps playing the wrong team, out of form players. What are you doing, mate? It's just...
It's so boring. It's really boring. It's like if we're on a counter-attack and we've got 3 against 3, we're making the wrong pass. If someone's attacking us like Kufal today, Damari Gray's running at him. Why are you backing him up? Why are you backing off, letting him get into the box? Go towards him. Fornells, why are you backing out 50-50 tackles? Souček, why are you passing the ball backwards? Not even to our own player, but past him. He done a couple passes today. I was like, fucking hell, what's happened to this guy? And besides his ability to jump in the air, I don't think he offers us anything. He runs. That's because he has to fucking run. He does.
Yeah, I know. Gina, how you doing, Gina? He could be safe. No, I don't know with West Ham. I'm not getting that sack him thing. It's all gone. There's not even been any threat of a... Usually Sky will say breaking news. David's going up for a meeting with the board tomorrow. I don't know. I'd love it to just... But then I'd bring in Poch if I was him. I don't know.
I don't think Poch would come to this sack of shit, mate. He wouldn't put up with the dildo boys, would he?
I think the squad's really good in a lot of ways. A lot of interesting players in there. Yeah.
The ones on the bench, mate. It's not the starters. If I ever will be, Skamaka will be playing, Benrahma will be playing, Cornet will be playing. Downs would be in there instead of Souček based off of his performance in when he played man the match. Kufal wouldn't be starting. Areola would be in goal. We see these things, but we don't have the ability to change them, do we? So we can sit as outsiders and we can watch it and we can say this is what we want to do, but
it is. Welcome, Gingy. Long time. How you been, mate? You all right?
Yeah, man. Not bad. Not bad.
Looking good. Nice haircut. Looking good. Smart.
The way West Ham are going at the minute, they're going to put me back.
Go ahead. Go for it, mate.
The way West Ham are at the minute, they're going to put me back in hospital. My blood pressure is going through the fucking roof, mate. It is ridiculous. How he thinks that it is the best team available for selection is a joke. How he's not using all 5 subs when you're chasing a game is an absolute joke. It's got to be better, and you've got to start questioning Moyes. Is he getting dictated from above? But then it's the same old David Moyes though. He's always dithered about, always took long on making substitutions. I just can't work him out, Judge. Shocking. This is the worst I've seen West Ham play for at least 2.5, 3 years. And this reminds me of 3+ seasons ago, where we was relegation candidate every single season. We've got better players, but we've gone backwards.
Yeah,
we was crying out for more bodies last year, saying that we need strength and depth. We've got better players that improved the first 11 and the whole squad in general, and we've sold more players again this season. And we've done it every single season for the last few seasons. We've sold more than we've got in. We've been crying out for more bodies, and then we get rid of more. It's counterproductive. It's just dumb on so many levels. That the mathematics just doesn't add up.
Peter just said in the chat, we've got 37 points from the last 34 league games.
Yes, bad form. Alex reckons there's a board meeting tomorrow. I'm not sure, Alex, is there? Not sure, mate.
I feel I'm going to have a look in that. But
it's like throwing money at a losing, like a sinking ship, isn't it? Like I reckon, Ginge, we should have perhaps held on to the 180 million and sacked him and bought someone new and give him them. I don't know.
But again, I was watching you boys throughout your stream, and I sort of agree with Frankie. Like, who else are you going to get in? Who's going to come to a sinking ship? Maybe at the start of the season, if we binned off Moyes, and obviously we had a good cup run to go back on. We're in Europe again. We're in the Mickey Mouse Europe Cup, the one that they made especially for Tottenham, that we all took the piss out of. And guess what? West Ham are in it now. It's just typical, isn't it? But the thing is, if you're gonna hold on to that millions and get someone else to spend it wisely, then should have binned him off in the last season and got someone else in straight away when the club was more attractive. Because let's be honest, in May, June last year, June in the summer just gone, it was West Ham was more attractive than they are right now.
Who's your favourite signing of the summer? Who do you really like? Who do you like? I like Cornet. I love him, and Skamaka obviously.
Yeah, I like Cornet, but I think I was more excited about the fact that we got a striker in Skamaka, even though I didn't really know much about him. He works a lot harder than Hilaire at the minute. Whether he's going to get frustrated and pissed off and sort of dip, I don't know. That's obviously waiting to find out. But Lucas Paqueta was the one for me. That's the one that got me excited.
Ginge, today, I couldn't even tell he was playing. There's no tactical plan to get him involved in the game, mate. Weird.
The thing is, it's the same thing. It's the same formation where Antonio's up top on his own with 3 players behind him. And we were saying, even during our good times last year, how that system does not work with Antonio. Because no one goes and supports. The whole team doesn't press. You've got the 3 players behind Antonio that doesn't go with him. At least Paqueta was trying. And I think we should have just had one holding midfielder in Declan Rice, bin off Souček for the next couple of games, and have 2 up front. Play a 4-1.
I tell you what, you're right, because usually Rice is there by himself, and I'm often wondering, like, where the hell Souček? I can't find him sometimes on the pitch, and he's usually in front of the centre back, isn't he? Yeah.
See that Onana? Who binned us off? He fucking tore us a new one. He made Souček look so pants, and it's frustrating to watch. But I think we should just switch up the formation. Emerson, I thought, should have played.
Yeah,
he's looked a good threat going forward. I think Cresswell is only a threat from set pieces and out wide, putting the ball in the box, whereas Emerson cuts inside and makes a run inside. It gives either the right back and the right centre back something to think about, or it will cut in further in field and run through the heart of the defenders and cause problems. It'd be up there as like a second striker sometimes. We've seen him do it, and because he played at a top club, that's what top clubs do. Look, Reece James for Chelsea, and obviously Emerson came from Chelsea, so they play like that. Cancelo for Man City, Walker for Man City. They all push up and act like an extra, I don't know, wing forward. So he's got the experience. He knows what he's doing.
Like Zinchenko at Arsenal reminds me. Emerson reminds me of Zinchenko proper.
Yeah. He's not a bad player. He obviously just wasn't wanted by Chelsea. But we've got a decent player there. Why are we not utilising him?
Redmond has been released by Norwich, I think. He's been released. What, Diego Costa, Ginger? I would have taken him, mate. I love him. I would have taken him.
I can't see how we fucking missed that, mate. Like, I think you think about it in summer. Everyone was saying Diego Costa's a free agent, and I said we should get him, and everyone was going, no. He's what was it everyone was saying? He's trouble and all this shit. He throws his toys out. I was like, yeah, but he's a bastard. And that's what we need. We need those bastards. Like the last one we had was
Arnie, in a bit of Arnie. Yeah.
And I think he'll do bits for Wolves this season. Once he gets up to speed again, trust me, the geezer is immense on his day. He's a top class player. You can't deny him that. Regardless if he's the wrong side of 30, he's still going to be an essential powerhouse.
His neck is that big, isn't it, Danny? Costa.
Big.
Great. He looks like a bulldog chewing a wasp.
Listen, if you're in a battle, you want him next to you, wouldn't you, mate? You know?
No.
Peter, how you doing? Well, this question, mate, we never gave him the ball, mate, to attack. He's constantly like Frankie. He's constantly Gingy. He's like running, trying to tackle and I'm like, no, stay in the middle. We'll give you the ball. We didn't use him in the right way, did we? I don't know what David Moyes is doing, mate. It looks like, lads, like Moyes is doing it deliberately to piss the board off. I don't know what's going on. It's like, I don't know. I'm not going to say who's doing the transfers. I will never know that. But it's like, I'm just going to ruin all these players I bought in deliberately, isn't it, Danny? It's looking so deliberate, mate. You couldn't make it up, mate. You couldn't make it up. Yeah.
You've brought them in because they've done well at their past club, and you've taken their confidence and you shot it to shit because you sat them on the bench and you stuck with the same team. And you've just you've basically said, okay, you've lied to them to get them here. You've said, all right, you're going to have your chance. Their chances in fucking Europe. And they're playing a shit cup. Fair enough. I'm okay with playing Europe. But I'd much rather play in the Premier League and go out of this cup than go down 2 divisions in a row because of the money. I don't care about this cup. I want to win a cup. I do. But if it's a decision between winning this Conference Cup or getting relegated and losing everything that we've come of in the last 8 years since we moved to the stadium, fuck the cup. My club means more to me than this trophy. We'll win a trophy next season, and we'll be a stable Premiership team.
I think we'll be the only team in the Championship history to be in Europe. I think if we win the conference this year and go down, playing in the Championship next season.
Wigan done it in the Cup a few years back. They played.
Yeah. You're right. I'll shut up.
Jin, just comment. Danny talked about earlier on. What a great substitution this was to try and get a goal back, wasn't it?
What, sorry? The substitution.
Emerson coming on 92 minutes.
Oh, it's ridiculous. When we made the subs of, I think it was the 68th minute, we made the double subs, wasn't it? For Paqueta coming off and Fornals coming off. I thought we need Paqueta on the bench, on the pitch. When Skamaka's on and Cornet's on, you need Paqueta on because the 3 of those they work better than the likes of Fornals and Antonio at the minute because their form is shit. And even Bowen tries, but does he try too much sometimes? And we haven't got the movement there, Jazz. We've not got the intelligence for our forward players to know exactly where to run and for the player on the ball to know exactly where he's going to run to feed him in.
Listen,
they look like a bunch of 10-year-olds that don't know each other, just started secondary school and they're playing on the school field for the first time. And everyone's running around like headless chickens.
I just remember the Harry Redknapp team where you had Travis Sinclair overlapping, you had Berkovic, Benyoun, Johnny Hartson, Kitson up front. They're trying to make things happen. Ball used to go that way. All right, we're letting a few at the back, but we used to do all right. And it's just so boring now. Onana looked all right, Ginger. What do you think, Onana? 22? 20, yeah.
How we didn't get him in the first place is a joke. How we've let him slip through the net.
You know why we didn't get him? We know why we didn't get him because Moyes told him a lot of negative things and he walked out that he didn't want to sign after that. And Lampard sold him a few lies and he signed for them. Shocking, mate. Yeah.
Well, fair play for Everton. And look, if you want your first win, it's like the West Ham of old. If you want your first win, if your player wants his first goal of the season or whatever, come play West Ham. We are the gift that keeps on giving. And we've gone back to that for some reason. And I just hope that Moyes sorts them out, or the players sort themselves out and give themselves a boost. Because now we've got a couple of weeks off because of the international break. Obviously, there's a lot of we've got a lot of international players now, so they're not going to get a rest or a start. But Moyes needs to do something.
I think, Anthony, I'm on the belief that I think we're a huge club and managers would come. I'm in the belief that we got a half-decent squad. We've got a lot of fans who come every game, and we have finished 6th and 7th. We are in Europe. We were in the semi-finals. I think we're a great club and great option for most managers to come to. So I am not one of them who feels that people are... I think Poch would come. He'd want to get one over Spurs, the way they treated him. We're down the road. I think we got a lot of things. And another big reason, everyone, is that if he comes in, most of the discussions and the selling point would come from Kretensky, who I think is going to be our number one shareholder soon. Sullivan, all right, whatever Sullivan says, I don't think that will mean anything. But Kretensky, hopefully he's fairly young. He's made his money because there's something about him. And I think it'd be a bit of that, both of you. I think we're a great option for most managers to come to. I don't agree that we're shy, we're relegation, no one's going to... I don't agree with that. I don't, Ginger. I think Poch will come, mate. I think he'll come.
I think he demands too much money, and I think that's why Man United didn't go for him. But then we don't know the ins and outs between the consultations of those clubs that are potentially interested in managers like Poch. So maybe he's demanding so much money because what he done with Tottenham, with the limited resources that he had at Tottenham, and then he's gone on to manage PSG. Right, he's not doing particularly great, and he should be winning everything in that league because PSG are by far the greater French team in that league. So he should be doing well, and he can't even win the Champions League with them. And he's got Messi, Neymar, Mbappe. He had all those players at his disposal, and he can't do anything with them. But
do you agree? Everton are quite poor, aren't they, mate? When you think about it, overall in the league, and Everton should be getting something against that team, isn't it?
Yeah, again, there was always going to be up for it. Lampard's obviously connections with West Ham, and Moyes been a connection with Everton. They've now obviously reversed the roles. Did you see when they walked out though? Lampard walked out with the West Ham team, and Moyes walked out in front of the Everton team. They had to swap over when they were carrying the wreath.
See,
it was a joke.
I got a lot of respect for the Lampard family for a number of reasons, but yeah, it's okay. But for me, Lampard as a manager, no, not convinced that. Yeah, I think Gerrard's he's a lot worse than him, so I'm not convinced by him. But it is what it is. I think Newcastle getting a little bit unstuck again. I know I'm blowing the Eddie Howe trumpet now and again, but they're kind of stop, start with them. But I don't know what's going on. They like to draw a game, Newcastle, don't they? But Ginger, do you think he's going to get sacked, or what do you think is going to happen, mate, with Moyes?
I don't think he will just. There's other managers, i.e. Brendan Rodgers, that are doing a lot worse than Moyes at the minute. That are potentially going to get the sack or should get the sack before Moyes. And I know what Danny said. It's probably the right time to do it now. Earlier the better. So then the new manager has time to come in and sort of bed his ethos into the team, and then we've got longer with the same team to do something. Would you
take Brendan? Would you take Brendan Rodgers?
No. I think we need fresh ideas. I think we need someone that hasn't been in the Prem, or at least hasn't been in the Prem for a little while, because everyone else will just get sussed. And that's the thing with Moyes. He's just got sussed out now. He's done the same thing for the last 2.5 years, and he's going to get sussed. We've only got one way of playing, Jazz. We've only got one formation that he knows how to play, or can play, or willing to play. And I think even the players are getting sick of it. So
it's the same voice. That's what it is. It's the same voice, same instructions. Yeah. As a human being, you've got to have enough. There's nothing to do with David personally. I feel 2-3 years is about the max in the modern game, Ginge, for any manager. After that, either you completely revamp your backroom team so they lay on you training for you, exciting. But coaching is gone, isn't it? I mean, Frankie feels Stuart Pearce going is a huge thing for West Ham. What's happening at the moment? So
that's another thing I don't understand. What happened there? Was that something in the background? Because obviously, on Moyes' return, Sullivan didn't want Pearcey there.
Peter, the league games. Why are we playing Liverpool twice so quickly? Is that the way the fixtures are sometimes, Danny? Why are we playing Liverpool so quickly?
Yeah, usually the closer to Christmas you play them. But yeah, I think it's always been kind of like that. It's like 2 or 3 months spacing. I don't know how exactly it works, but it's 2-3 months spacing. But I'm gonna have to jump off, guys. I've got to go look at this house, sign this paperwork.
Good luck, yeah. Good luck with that, mate. Good luck with that, yeah.
Good luck, man.
And I have to say, Ginger Collins, when I look at you, all I see is James Maddison. That's all I.
Oh, right. Interesting.
See you next time, guys.
Thanks a lot, Danny. Appreciate it. Good luck and catch up next couple of shows, mate. Take care.
Message me. Take care, mate.
Take care. So Danny's in the US, isn't it? He's based in the US, isn't he, Danny?
Is he?
Based in the US, yeah.
Whereabouts?
I don't know. I've got to ask him. But he's obviously a West Ham fan, and he's originally obviously from London and stuff. But he's out there at the.
You can tell from the accent he's from London at some point.
He is. So that's the games Jamie, how you doing, mate? If they sack Moyes, I'm not going to the games. Oh, interesting, Jamie. Yeah, let us know a bit more, mate. Yeah, why you? If they sack him right now, I mean,
I get why people are saying like, obviously they don't want Moyes sacked, because it was Moyes that got us in this situation. It was Moyes that turned the football club around, or the way that we played around. And I completely understand. I completely get that. But in the last 2.5 years, he's not even tried to embed another style of football into this club. Like I said 5 minutes ago, or in the last 5 minutes.
Can you close your curtains in the back? Your face, yeah, it's got the sun on it. Can you close your curtains maybe in the back? Yeah, that's better. That's better. Perfect, mate. Perfect. You got the old sun coming through, haven't you?
Yeah, no, yeah, it's literally directly behind me, the window. So yeah. The missus is moaning. She's going, "Don't get me on it."
Yeah, go ahead. No, you're fine. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think in the last 5 minutes, I said something about we've only got one way of playing, and I think it's an absolute shambles. If you haven't been able to embed another way of playing in the last 2.5 years that you've been at this football club as a manager, that baffles me, Jazz. Because how have you only got, all right, it's worked, it's got him here, but you still need a plan B. And everyone keeps saying that. And when things have gone tits up, we've not had a plan B. And everyone's called it out. We don't know how to play another way. We haven't got a plan B. Moyes has only got one way of playing. So it doesn't work. Like, teams have found us out now. We've obviously we needed a bit of pace going forward. We had a bit of hard work with our players like Fornals and Bowen that sort of dug us out of holes before. Now we've got a bit of pace down our wings that we've been crying out for the last 12, 18 months. We've got Cornet in, don't play him. We've got a striker in, don't play him. It's just a joke. And we play them in Europe, but we don't play them in the league. What, does Moyes think that they're good enough for Europe in that shitty Mickey Mouse Conference League, but they're not good enough for the Premier League? No, it's a joke, because Cornet's got Premier League experience already.
Yeah, listen, for me it's simple. We've been struggling since Christmas. We should have bought, well, looks like those players are better than what we've had, so you should start with them and tell the old ones. And that probably includes some starting Areola in goal. I haven't got a clue why that's not happened. And obviously the Chelsea winner, no, the first goal, that was Fabianski, no communication with Zuma, going for a walk and no one in goal, and the guy just puts in the empty net, when most of the time the centre-backs obviously think he ain't going to come out. He never comes out. He doesn't talk to us. He stays on the goal line. And listen, it's simple. Like I told you, Scamacca up front, and Antonio in Bowen's place, Bowen on the bench until he improves, Paqueta or Benny in the middle fighting for the number 10 spot. Then you've got Fornal and Cornell's fighting for the spot. But I'm the way I'd put the new signings in and tell the old ones, sort yourselves out if you want to come back in the team. Yeah. But he's just like, it's like he's deliberately doing it, James. He's deliberately winding everyone up.
Well, that's the whole point of it, James. You're supposed to get new signings to freshen up the team, freshen up the dressing room, fresh ideas.
Look at that Newcastle boy. What's that Newcastle striker up front? My goodness. Aski, whatever, the Swedish guy.
What? Yeah, what a player. Another one that we apparently reported to go in for, but then again, we was reported for every man and his dog this summer, wasn't we?
He came in straight away in the team against Liverpool, started the game, scored 2 goals, one got chalked off. Moyes would have said, "Oh, he ain't ready. He ain't ready yet. No, we don't know. I'm not sure what I like in training." I'm like, "What are you on about, mate?" He took the piss out of Downs in the comments, like, you do not say that to the media. Why are you having a go at Downs? He's only a little youngish player coming in, and you're having a go at Scamacca. I don't understand it. He's on the way out, mate. Get out of here. You've done all right. Just get out, mate.
Like the fullbacks today, I thought was. I mean, I'm normally supportive of Kufal. I like him, but not because he's a decent player, because he was at one point, and he just got off the ball for a little while. And even when he started going off the ball, I was still supporting him because I know what sort of player he is. I think me and you have had a disagreement about players like Sufal before, but I think today he's just not. He hasn't got it. He hasn't got it to run up and down and deal with the fast players. We need a like for like to deal with someone like Damari Gray, and.
He didn't cost him anything, Ginge. He's free, Gray. Hardly anything cost him.
That's what I mean. I mean, we needed someone like Ben Johnson that could. All right, he probably won't match him for pace, but he'll do a lot better for pace than he would than Sufal would. So these are the little tactics you've got to take into.
What's your feelings on Ashby?
I like him, and I see something today about how West Ham have opened the door for Leeds to sign Harrison Ashby, and I was like, "Are you fucking mad? Like, why are we letting go of all of our young prospect talent? The likes of over the years, we've got rid of a centre mid when we were light in centre mid, not giving them a chance, even though they could have easily come in and been given a chance, considering our form with some of our centre mids and how short we've been. And all the game fixture congestion that we've had, and then we go and sell them or loan them out, and then recall them, and rumours about buying back. Why let them go in the first place? Keep them with the under 23, unless they're obviously coming to an age where they're no longer eligible to play for the under 23. So it's either sign them or get rid of them. Then loan them out until you think they're ready, then, or give them a chance, because there has been a lot of young players that big teams have had, and they've given them the chance. And if you give them the support and you give them the chance, and you show that you've got play for them, they will show you something. They will show you that they're worth something and can do it in this league.
Yeah, I mean,
and I've seen them firsthand. I've seen some of these players live, and they are decent. Like Elise yesterday, I think. I can't remember if we sold him. I was thinking, and he went and scored for Sunderland yesterday.
I heard he's not been good though. Yeah, I don't know. I heard some article that.
Again, he's just a kid, and he's only going to learn his craft. He can only get better, and that's what kids are there to develop. They're still developing, Judge. You know what I mean?
I want to see, like you said, I want to see him before they let go of. I haven't even seen him. You know, Ben Johnson's been messed about. Jamie, what it is, we are respecting David Moyes, what he's done. It's brilliant. But now for us to go forward from 10th, 7th, bit more, I think we need something a bit more, mate. That's what we're saying.
Well, there was a lot of people.
He's 59, isn't he, Moyes? 59.
A lot of people were saying last year that Moyes he can no longer take us any further than he has. And well, if that is, then we really need to start looking to the future. Not right now, but maybe for next summer, depending what happens this season. But if that's the case, if Moyes can't take us any further than Europa League, then we need to start improving from.
I don't think David can better what he did in sixth and semi-finals of. That's going to be hard to top, Ginge.
Yeah. Well, we've got to wait. We've got to wait this season and next season to find out if he can beat it, because even if he goes to the final of conference or win the conference, that's still not the same as getting the semi-finals in Europa League, because you would have had to beat a lot poorer teams to get there. I know we're going to have dropouts from Europa League come down if we get that far, when we get to the knockout stage, but in terms of group-wise, I think other than Anderlecht, we had tougher opponents in Europa.
Tommy, this comment, mate, is David Moyes. He came in with a certain style that you use when you're struggling, but we're kind of 7 for 6. We got 180 million worth of new talent, more pace, more technique. You got Scamacca, Cornet, Paqueta, them three, and you're not playing football suited to them. You're not playing them every game. Keep pulling them off. You know, you can see Cornet, he's involved in everything all the time. He gets scrapped. They try to single him out, go for him. Scamacca's a proper striker with his movement and finishing. And what we're saying is Moyes can't keep playing the tactics because that time we were a different situation, but the form is the same. But now it should be better quality of players, more one-touch football. He's the same, and he's slightly better players, but he's trying to play them in the same way, isn't he, Ginge?
That's it. And it comes down to one style of play. And he's got one style of play and he's got one formation of play and he's got brand new players that he's trying to fit into that system. And we've been saying, everyone that was linked with us in the summer, we was like, oh yeah, he would suit West Ham, he'd suit West Ham, or he's not a Moyes sort of player. Now, everyone's judging him, judging every speculation, transfer rumour speculation, that would he fit into a Moyes team? And I don't think anyone knew exactly what a Moyes team is, because I don't think Moyes knows exactly what he wants to do. Because he's only got one way of playing, and surely you can't go throughout your whole career or a whole couple of seasons with one way of playing. You need a backup, and you need to play every individual game by itself. Every game is different because every opponent's different. Every team you've got to play, they've got opposition players that are different. You might have a load that are very similar, i.e., like quick-footed, tricky wingers, fast and whatnot.
I tell you, Ginger, Mo pay 13 million would be a great backup to Scamacca. 13 million, bring him in.
Mate, anyone would have been anyone. Diego Costa, there was plenty of players out there that we could have got that could have been a decent backup, or if not, challenged alongside Mikel Antonio. Because how have we only got one striker in this summer? Sorry, it is beyond me, mate. We know that we needed one minimum, but we all know that we needed two. Because if Scamacca goes down, then we're back to square one again. And we all know that, obviously, Antonio's the wrong side of 30. He's got, well, I can't remember if Jamaica qualified for
No, different. No, nothing, mate.
No. Like, well, even if, like, say for argument's sake they did, then he's got more games to play. And obviously, being in Europe with West Ham, he's going to be playing more games. So it's...
What about a happy camp? Do you feel that there's not a happy camp? I think they're a bored camp more than I don't know. They probably are a bit not happy, but I think they're bored, mate.
I think they're happy when they're in training and they're having a laugh amongst themselves. But these results aren't going to help week in, week out. These results aren't going to help one bit because, you see, I said someone put on the chat a couple of minutes ago that Declan Rice said it was depressing. Now, if someone like Declan Rice starts turning, that's not good because that's your club captain. That's your official club captain. And he, like Frankie said earlier, he's got the weight on his shoulders.
Yeah.
And he needs backing. And I can't see that if people start turning now, they're not going to give a shit. And it's all going to go to pot. And unless we start digging in and getting performances, that even if we perform good and we still lose, at least the players can say, right, we fucking done well there. We were just unlucky today. Like the Chelsea game, I think that's the only time that we've actually played well this season and we deserve something. You could argue spells of Forest, we should have won. But again, we wasn't good enough. But at least Chelsea, we gave it a good go. We technically scored 2 goals, 2 perfect legitimate goals. Typical.
We've set up two conservative in a too conservative manner. Today, Everton they're nothing. Let's go for it from the beginning. Play Scamacca and Tony up front if you want. Let's get at them. Let's play the long ball now and again and mix it up a bit. He's just too conservative, mate. And Villa, you remember, he played 5 at the back, another 4 CDMs in front of them. And then after 70 minutes, he scratched his head and, oh, yeah, we might win this. Changed it. And Chelsea were crap, mate. They were there for the taking. And it's only when Cornet come on, I'm like, mate, the guy nearly banged in a hat-trick in 5 minutes. What were you doing? And he did it again. He still started without Cornet, no Scamacca. Mate, Everton, he's got to go, mate. He's not helping himself. He's got to go. What about the Southampton manager, Ginge?
Nah, I mean, my new missus on the Isle of Wight, her mum and dad are Southampton fans, and they're a bit worried about Southampton. I talk to them all the time about football, and they're like, even her mum is mad football fanatic, and for a woman to be a mad football fanatic like she is, I've never met one. I've met a few people that have come close, but she's on it. But let's be fair, she used to support Millwall when she was a kid, but she used to get dragged to Millwall games, so I'll give her a bit of banter about that. But she talks about football and she knows everything about football. She understands every rule. She understands every play. So it's quite refreshing to talk to her mum about football. And it's just a shame that she's a Southampton fan. But they're worrying about Southampton at the minute. They're worrying about Hasselhoff, whatever his name is, and David Hasselhoff. the B-Tech Jurgen Klopp.
He got 3 more points than us, mate. Yeah, but what about this comment, Jamie? To be fair, yeah, Jamie's backing David Moyes. He said it's not fair. We shouldn't be sacking him. We were in a worse position when he came. What do you think about people on the other side of the argument?
I don't know. I can't see it too much. Like, I've got my goggles a bit smeared, mate, to be honest, because it's been like this for the last few years where we've only had one way of playing, and it should be different. We should know how to play. They're Premier League players with a Premier League manager. You should be able to adapt, and you should be able to have fresh ideas and be able to tell your own team. You're the manager. Yeah, you set up your coach. You've got your coaching staff behind you. You should be dictating how you want your team to play. So if it's not working one way, then you have a complete different stance and say, right, I want you to try this. I want you to try this until you can get it right. You will learn this. They're on tens of thousands of pounds a week. Yeah, to be a professional footballer, you can't clear the front post. You can't beat the first man on the corner. Can't fucking kick a ball properly. And it's just embarrassing, Jazz. We didn't do any of the basics. And surely that's got to be down to the manager because it keeps happening day in, day out. And if we're not, like you boys were talking about earlier, that the stats keep coming up that we're 19th and 18th in the league of like the running, possession. We used to try and dominate possession last season. Even against the big teams, we'd sit off a little bit more against the bigger teams and try and catch them on a break. But at least we tried having possession. Today we were giving a ball away. It was sloppy. They had no understanding with each other. And you're Premier League fucking players, Jez. So something's got to give. It is this telltale signs from the players. Is there something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about?
I think they're bored with the message. They're bored of it. It's the same, mate.
Yeah. It's well, we've got this 2 weeks off now. Even though that we had a week off because obviously our late Majesty unexpectedly, and everyone the whole football world got called off. So we had an extra week to prepare for this game. And I can't see how we've not utilised that extra week and worked on something. Now we've got a 2 week break or however long it is, a week for an international break. But most of our players are international players now. So they're not going to get a rest. They're not going to be with the team and with Moyes. They're only going to be with their selected international teams if they're going away. And again, that's not good enough for us because we need Moyes to work and the coaching staff to work with everyone. But we'll see. Hopefully, this little week will do us good, and I don't know, they can sort of utilise it. Anyone that's not going away, the players like Cresswell and whoever else doesn't play for international football, then they need some serious bucking up to do. Don't know where Jazz has gone. He's done this to me before last season. Just left me on my own. Let's see what the chat's saying. Moyes always spins the facts. Yeah, he does. He doesn't answer the questions properly. He doesn't answer them properly at all. And I think that's all their media training. They're trained to not give so much away and not talk about certain things and not talk in a certain way. And they don't like answering critics and questions directly. So yeah, he's definitely swinging it away. Moyes, he sets up not to lose rather than to win. That's another good point. John says our corners today, laughing. Yeah, it's embarrassing, mate. It's embarrassing. I mean, I think the one that summed it up for me, don't know about anyone else, but the Ben Rama corner where it goes on the pitch and then goes off. it hits the side netting, and it goes about 2 foot off the floor. It was just shocking. It's embarrassing. Hammerhead said, "Who takes out swinging corners? They don't work." I think that's an old thing, isn't it? It depends how you're going to set up from the corner. Are you going to have late runners attacking in from outside the box and making that late run in? Because you should have a decoy of players that runs in and takes the opposition players closer to the goal, or create a space on the edge of the box or on the penalty spot, really. And the players coming in late from the outswing corner, they should come in and meet it. And then if you time your runs properly, you come and header the ball onto the ball, right? So that as the ball's coming in, you're running onto it direct, and you can generate more power. It's just basic football. I was taught that when I was 5, and yeah, it's just basic football. But you're right. Not many people know how to execute an outswing corner anymore, unless you're a decent manager and you've got decent coaching staff and the decent players to work with. Let's see. He's a good captain. You on about Rice? He may well be, but he just needs support. Like someone said in the chat earlier, he's got a lot going on. He's just had a little baby, so it's just taken over from Nobes. Anyone taken over from someone like Nobes, it's going to be an hard job, because he was missed at West Ham. He was diehard West Ham through and through. He'd done a lot. He'd done more than a lot of people knew about. And I think the likes of Ben Johnson cleans out Jessamine now. He's not just. He's still got to learn his craft, Rice, as a captain. He can do it on the pitch. He's probably watched Nobes a few times off, and he knows what to do off the pitch. But he can't do it all, and he's still young, and obviously having a baby to think about. That's going to be his number one priority.